CSBet.GG guarantees to show the actual drop rate with precision to the hundredths. Find the best skins only in cases at CSBet.GG.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After the break, we are ready to get into the winners matchup between Winstrike and Heroic. Both teams respectively having a very one-sided game in their opening matchups in Group B. We've seen Winstrike take Virtus Pro easily, and then Heroic bested Sprite in a convincing fashion. So I'm looking forward to getting into this one. This should be a close game on paper. My name is Stinko. I'm going to be joined by the lovely Hawker. Oh, you Hawker, that pained me to give you a compliment.
I'm doing very well now that you've made that nice compliment to me, Dinko. I'll never let you forget this.
That's the one time you're getting one of those. The rest you've got to pay me. I will cherish it.
I'm not paying you for compliments.
You get a compliment for £50. You'll get
This had better be the best compliment ever. Well, my hair doesn't even look nice today because I haven't had a haircut for way too long, to be honest.
Oh, me neither. I had it last week.
Oh, I think I last had my haircut in like January. It's really bad.
I think I gotta go for a haircut. Like, probably give it a week, and I'll go back next week.
I don't know. I wonder when the players will be getting their next haircuts. Maybe we should ask them as well. Just get everyone involved.
Well, there's gotta be lots of
conversation.
There's gotta be lots of haircuts. Headcuts? Maybe just headcuts, because headshots will be coming in the pistol. The whole heads will be toppled. And speaking of pistol, hopefully we get into it pretty quickly, as they are readying up and getting ready to go into it. So, I'm actually interested to see Winstrike play more than Heroic, I would say. I think Winstrike, we didn't get to see them be tested at all, really, on train against VP. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing if there's any cracks in that team. But obviously, Heroic, this is probably where we'll get to see whether or not BlameF can actually in-game lead on a map like Mirage. So let's see if that is the case as we get into the pistol. It's Heroic on the T side, Winstrike on the CT side.
I think this is the knife round, Dinko. I think you've been baited.
If I've been baited, yeah. Well, no one's bought. Yeah, they're buying decoys. It is the knife.
Absolutely baited.
This is only best of one. So
yeah. It is perfectly set up for our winners game, though, with both teams winning so convincingly. Like you were saying, it's kind of set up perfectly to see who is the best of the best. Both these teams winning dominantly in their opening games, but like you were saying, you could kind of say that both teams weren't really tested too much. So this is the real opportunity to see if we can get one of those close games coming through. And Heroic, speaking of BlameF as that in-game leader, will get to decide which side they want to start on.
CT side. Alright. Yeah, generally Mirage is seen as the more CT-sided affair. And I feel like it's a pretty balanced map. I mean, we see all the close halves. I think it's mostly because a lot of teams are willing to play this map. I think it is statistically the most played map in professional Counter-Strike. Across pretty much every level, I would say. Perhaps not so much the top tier. Yeah, I would say so, actually. So it's definitely one of the most played maps.
It's up there. Well, I wonder what the least played is right now. I'd say either Cash or Nude.
Yeah. Well, we're getting right into it. It's Winstrike over on the T side. It's going to be the Smoke and World Edit Boomich double flash there as well. And they're going to go for the very standard Smoke for the stairs, one for jungle, and you double flash in towards CT and get it done. Let's go. It's very hard to hold. Estatic is going to be under a lot of pressure as they charge in towards the palace area. It'll be Estatic having to fall back. The simple strat used to perfection.
Heroic trapped in CT spawn. The boost allows them the opportunity to get a pick if the push comes in towards CT spawn, and that's not really happening right now. Winstrike are happy to just hold back. Finally, the flash comes in. Oh, it's a decoy to allow them to move forwards, and in comes the Death Squad, all pushing forwards. The USP's getting it done. A couple of kills found, and it's up to Norbert and World Edit. They're in decent positions, but World Edit goes into the open, and Norbert doesn't have an angle for the bomb. Good work from Mert alongside alongside his teammates on the retake. And that was a very clean retake from Heroic, considering the circumstances.
Yeah, good start there from Heroic, finding the pistol success, and they will get themselves the rifles immediately out, not going for the SMG purchases. Perhaps after the defuse, they think Winstrike are going to invest into this. They have got a couple of deagles, but they're not going to break the bank. They're going to leave the majority of their cash in the reserves to move into the next round with a full-fledged buy. So Heroic, this should be an easy pickup for them. And it's mostly rifles, only one SMG being picked up. And BlameF starts things off well with the AUG towards middle. 2 kills come towards him, and a third is collected as well.
I've looked up the map stats, Dinko, for the last 3 months. And Mirage is indeed the most played map. Slightly ahead of Inferno. It's very close between those two. And then Nuke is the least played, and then Cash. So we were right with our guesses. I guess we commentate enough Counter-Strike to have a rough idea of what maps are the popular.
What, how many hours, which map do I watch the most? It's like, it's just in my head, it's Mirage and Inferno most of the time. Then it's always a nice taste when you get like a Nuke or a Cash or something.
Whenever it's Nuke, I can never tell what's going on the mini-map, though. That's the big problem. I haven't got a clue.
They have changed it, obviously. When you go down towards the B bomb site, the map fades out into the lower bomb site mini-map. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's still much more difficult to watch. But we're getting right into it. It's Heroic on 2-0. This is their first challenge they've had to face. It's Winstrike coming right at them with a buy. Although WorldEdit did want to peek. He got blinded, but this time he trades onto Mertz. So kill for kill, tip for tat. And it's going to be a 4v4.
Now the question is, do Heroic try and recover that AWP? Because it is in a slightly awkward position in towards window. WorldEdit will continue to hold towards mid with his sniper. And Heroic don't look too keen on recovering that AWP just yet. They're content with sticking with the standard issue rifles for the time being. It's also worth pointing out that Heroic not going for the AUGs in this round, favouring the M4A4s, apart from BlameF, the one man with the scoped rifle. And Winstrike have slowed things down significantly after finding that opening pick, but they are now setting themselves up for a B split.
Well, Winstrike, with most of their players going in towards B. It's a great kill from Norbert right onto Freiburg. Stavn will trade back. It's a 3v3 as the Molotov comes in towards the window. BlameF will pick up a kill. Advantage sides with Heroic. Missed shot from Stavn. That could come back to bite them. They do want to get back into the bomb site. They've got 2 kits alive. Utility is there as well. Great movement from BlameF. Very smooth jumping and transitioning from window over towards short. There are now 2 players approaching from here, and Bondik under a lot of pressure has been spotted, and they're swarming him, looking for the kills, but Bondik gets the headshot. Second kill unable to be found, and it will be Esetai finding the third here for Heroic. Only 3-0 on the board. A good retake, and a good entry there from Norbert. Just couldn't quite capitalize.
And Winstrike, after going down to the 4v4, left WorldEdit alone pushing mid in towards short with that AWP. I think that was a bit of a problem for them there, because as soon as he lost his fight against Stavn, they only had to be worried about the apartments. It allowed Heroic to have a fair few angles to watch towards the site, and Winstrike didn't really pose a threat from too many positions. They were all just funneling in from the same sorts of angles. Heroic could just kind of keep them contained on that B site, and a solid job from the CTs to keep their win streak going. Buy into this round from Winstrike, and Boomich is looking to make a quick play in towards A. They're moving forwards, but WorldEdit is the first to fall. Trades starting to come through thick and fast onto the A site, but it's actually only a 1-for-1 trade, and the bomb is planted.
Oh, Bondik able to find BlameF. Oh, tries to transition back over towards the site. Does take a little bit of damage, and that'll force him into Mert's crosshair. He will capitalize on to convict, but Boomich is the nail from behind. He gets 2 kills. It's all on Esetag, and he has to fall away safely with that AWP. It will be finally around on the board for Winstrike, and I think you've got to thank Boomich for that. He really saved him.
He was the man taking the initial aggression out through Palace as well. So he really helped them get onto that A site just by putting a lot of presence on the map. And so Boomich definitely having impact in this round. Follows it up with those 2 kills. Even with Essetag saving the AWP, Heroic's money is not exactly great heading into this one. I don't know how much we're going to see in terms of the buy. The AUG is dropped over to Blame F. Okay, they get 3 rifles out. It's maybe a bit better than I anticipated. However, you have to say that Winstrike have got the better of the buys, and Essetag will be sticking with the AWP rather than handing it over to Mertz, maybe because he had that good spawn for mid. However, the molly stops him, and I guess Mertz not having the Kevlar might be a factor as well, but Essetag can't get anything done with the AWP. That is a great start for Winstrike.
There's Freiburg. He'll try and salvage something with the UMP. Norbert does lose his head. Winstrike, there's a little bit of a problem here, but I mean, they should be pretty comfortable in overwhelming them. The only problem here is the AWP of Mertz they've got to try and find. Bomb is still up towards spawn, and so they have plenty of options. With 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock, they can go anywhere they like. They're going to start to come back over towards the A bomb site. One player just sitting on the bottom of the stairs, looking up towards short. Mertz looking for them coming up to connector, but it's all through the ramp and palace. They will come. Winstrike look to just try and bombard the A site, get that bomb planted, and take things over for number 2.
They have smokes to cover them off if necessary. Mertz in towards connector is the one player they really have to be worried about. Stavin is starting to come in towards jungle as well, and Winstrike are making this rather obvious, taking their time to move towards the A site. However, Heroic can't do anything to stop them. Winstrike end up winning by elimination, and Heroic should be stuck on a full save into this one. I think their losing bonus is okay, but I don't think they can really go for any investment into this round, which is a bit of a concern for them, because Winstrike are already starting to build up some money, and they should be able to win this round without too many casualties. So this is Winstrike's chance to gain the economic lead early into Mirage.
They're all naked, Alex. Heroic have nothing.
Huddling for warmth under the...
Yeah, they're like
there.
penguins. Oh, Alex, you know what? If casting goes wrong for you, I've got a great job for you. You know the way you are terrible at jokes, right? You could be the man that just sits in a little dark room and writes the jokes on penguin biscuits.
Why does it have to be a dark room?
Because whoever writes those jokes deserves to be in a dark room.
Wow. Not very nice. I don't even remember any of the penguin jokes, to be honest. I remember them being bad. I don't remember any specific standout ones.
Your whole humor just comes from penguin jokes.
That's not true.
They all come through your head, Alex.
I come up with original jokes. I would never steal jokes. I'm a very funny guy. Oh, that's... Doesn't get the kill. I thought he was going to get it. So sad.
Yeah, nah, the USPs actually are pretty decent weapons in these sort of rounds. Like, you do see a crazy amount of kills come from them, but not in this time. I think Blame F might just get one. There we... Nope, Freiburg steals it. And Blame F goes to pick up the AK. Freiburg is still alive and doing damage, but they know exactly where he is. And they want the frag. They will get it. Norbert, in fact, will collect it. It's 3-3. 3 apiece here on the scoreboard. Winstrike, they picked up pace again. And this was kind of a similar scenario, if you remember back to the Virtus Pro game on Train. They lost the first 3 very convincingly, and then won 11 in a row. So, Heroic, they need to stop that from happening straight away here. They've got a buy coming in, lacking utility, but it's enough to get the job done on paper.
Don't really think Freiburg needs to be buying a helmet in this round. Maybe he could have got some extra utility, or even a defuse kit could have potentially been more valuable than the helmet. Unfortunately, though, he will not be having the kit, and therefore Heroic will have to rely on their rifles to hold the sights. The retakes will not be as easy without that kit in play. Interesting smoke from Stavin. Goes very high in towards Connector, but Mertz is just completely caught out. Boomich manages to find him up close, and there was no one in position to trade out that opening frag. So Winstrike get the early advantage, and Norbert takes a confident peek on towards Freiburg. Blame F also goes falling, and this is another round where Winstrike have kind of just won the opening trades and just got the round win off the back of the opening kills going their way.
Well, Heroic, it's time for a little bit of a half buy here. I will scrape the barrel very slightly, not the bottom of it, just the top, the head. Get a half buy, perhaps a little bit of utility into the mix. There we go. Do you like to see Kevlar purchased in these rounds, Alex, or do you prefer a mix of Kevlar and no Kevlar? I think that's definitely the better call because you save as much money as possible, and if you get a rifle picked up, there's some players there with armor that can rock the AK if you somehow get it. But good start from Boomich, instantly annihilating one player with his AK. A second kill coming in from Norbert as well, and it's all falling apart here for the Danes. It's Blame F, Freiburg, and Stavin standing in a 3v5.
Blame F looks over towards Palace. Starts looking towards a ramp where the players will be pushing forwards. Unfortunately, flashbang means he is out in the open and easily dealt with. Winstrike will take this A site without really having any problems. Stavin gets a dink, and there's the kill he was looking for. But on 2 health, he could be spammed through the wood very easily. There it is. Kvik finishes the job. And like you were saying earlier there, Heroic got the early 3-0 lead, but Winstrike have won every single round since. 5 round wins in a row for the CIS side. However, Heroic will be hoping to put a stop to that in this round as they get another bye together, but once again, no defuse kit for the CTs.
Well, Winstrike looking pretty solid here when it's come to the gun rounds. Heroic have tested them pretty consistently across a couple of these rounds though. Haven't quite been able to bring it over the line just yet though, but Winstrike starting to build up a lot of cash, and that means very scary times for Heroic. They don't really have the utility to go up against them. The utility is coming right in. It's Boomich actually falling to his teammate. Norbert does rectify his mistake, but Mertz will step in for a kill on the AWP. He falls away inside of the smoke like a magician. Looking for the head. He spotted Norbert. That is brilliant.
So quick on the trigger there, Mertz, to take the head through the box. Bondic and Wild Edit not in the best positions either. If they were in A ramp and Palace, maybe they could have a chance here, but Wild Edit doesn't really have too much cover to work with. He's looking for a pick. Bondic gets 1 kill, but the AWP cannot find multiple opponents. Mertz ends up finding a quad kill on the round. Very impressive stuff from him, and Heroic will take the round and get to save the 2 AWPs. And this is what we needed to see, Dinko. Heroic back on the board, get a round win together, and they get to save 2 AWPs. And I don't know who the secondary AWPer will be. It could either be Esatag or Blame F, I would assume. And yeah, Esatag will be taking it, which makes sense to me. I think he's been a secondary AWPer for this team for a fair bit now. He might have even primary AWPed for a little bit.
Yeah, obviously when Mertz comes into the team, he'll take the mantle on that one, and he's definitely a very good AWPer. I've said it so many times, but I feel like he's almost a victim of the circumstances over at North. He went into a failing North team, and obviously MSL traditionally not great at working with the star AWPers, and so Mertz wasn't really given the best of situations to try and prove himself in. So back to the drawing board in Heroic to try and work his way up again. Definitely has a lot of talent and untapped talent, but that is brilliant. Mertz, 1 bullet, 2 kills. Norbert and World Edit finished off. Stavin hits the headshot onto Boomich, and it's falling apart this time. Heroic look to stand back.
And I think the other point with Mertz going to North is that quite a lot of his game as an AWPer, I think, revolves around his confidence, his willingness to take fights. That's kind of, as he came up in the scene, how he kind of rose to prominence, because he was willing to take fights all the time. He was so confident in his ability as an individual, and you start to maybe lose that confidence a little bit when you hit a bad patch of form, when you kind of make a step up in terms of moving to a better team, and maybe that was part of the problem for him. But now he's on Heroic, seems to be finding his footing here in this team. Winstrike will be looking for the mid control. However, in a 2-on-4, their chances are extremely limited to do anything from this position. Especially with 30 seconds left, they are forced to start moving forwards, and Mertz is in a pretty powerful position to stop them if they were to move towards Connector. They start to look towards window. The Molotov may give them the chance, but like I was saying, Mertz is just in such a strong spot. If you don't use nades here, the AWP is always going to be happy to take this fight, and Bondik has already started to look to save the AWP.
Yeah, much better from Heroic. It's starting to look pretty scary, you know. Winstrike had lost the first 3 against Virtus Pro and ended up winning 11 in a row and having a very one-sided half, but Heroic have seemed to have negated that problem, or negated that possibility. They have stepped up with some great individual plays from Mertz, who is topping that scoreboard, 12-7. Best player on the server currently, best performance. Winstrike still in the game, obviously, still in the half. Yeah, they've got another buy coming through. They had a lot of money built up, so finally starting to see some cracks in the economy. The buy is still solid. And look at this time. This is the good part about the double op setup. You can get so much aggression. Mertz is the first man to pick up the kill, but Essetag will find the trade over towards Palace. And it will be the man advantage staying with the CT side. BlameF doing work on the AUG. It's on Norbert and Boomich to try and get it done here. And a bit of an awkward exchange happening up towards the apartments. You can see just from the POV of Mertz. Elsewhere, Boomich found himself a kill. Norbert just walked past Stavin and killed Mertz. What the hell just happened? But he's unaware that Stavin's up inside of the apartments. And so Norbert will fall as well. Stavin finds him. It's all on Boomich. And what the hell was that?
I think they passed each other in the smoke, which was very awkward. You saw for a second there, Mertz was thinking about flashing his teammate in, but they called against that, and maybe that cost Mertz his life in the end, as they managed to kind of slip past each other. Boomich may have a chance here in the 1-on-2. The round looked like it was over, but this is somewhat doable if Boomich can isolate these fights. Stavin starts to rotate towards A at just the wrong time. Boomich will sneak his way onto this B bomb site. He's got a real chance at winning this, Dinko. There are plenty of nades left for him to play with, but he has to be aware that Stavin is starting to flank in towards B apartments. That could be a real issue for Boomich here.
Well, Stavin coming on up towards the apartments. Boomich, this angle is very good, but he gives away his position with the grenade. He wants to take the 1v1 fight. That's brilliant. He finds Stavin. It's all on Essetag. Coming back in from kitchen, not being quiet. Charges right through the window, and Boomich can just play with this, toying with his prey before he finishes him off, as Boomich is just hiding behind the wall. Essetag creeping up on the left. Boomich turns around, perfectly placed this, and this is over. Boomich has done it. What a one tap. There we go. That's the defuse gone. It's Winstrike on 6.
What a well-played round from Winstrike. I think that was a 2-on-4 that they came back from there. And maybe they got a little bit of luck with the whole fiasco into B apartments where they managed to sneak their way forwards. But that gave them the room to work with. That gave Boomich the open map in the 1-on-2. And he managed to make the right read. He managed to move towards B and then played the clutch to perfection. He took the gamble to take an early fight in the 1-on-2, realizing that he kind of needed to make a play to give himself the best possible chance. And so he decides to take the gamble. It pays off for him. And then he just dances around the site to win the clutch in the end, as you pointed out. Into this round, though, we have to focus on the round at hand, because World Edit has taken a ton of damage early with that AWP. He's down to 4 health. In the meantime, Freiburg has moved up close in towards B apartments, so Winstrike will likely want to take back control of that area of the map. However, they have to wait for the smoke to fade before they can do that.
Well, this game is definitely shaping up to be one of those closer affairs, which we were kind of hoping for, Alex, because we just had 2 massive blowouts on the first 2 maps of the day. Winstrike and Heroic seem to be delivering on what was promised. 43 seconds left. It's going to be a push in towards the B-bomb site. Boomich will hit the first headshot on the Stavin. Mertz tries to get some action done, but Boomich expects that push through the connector smoke. Mertz finished off, and the push keeps coming through onto B. It's, I feel kind of bad for Freiburg. He's doing his best. He will get one, but Norbert will finish him off. And BlameF is over towards A. He has to save on his own. 3 players all around. Kvik is here, inside a jungle. I don't know if he expects BlameF to be inside the middle already. He's going to go all the way underpass. At this point, Winstrike, they're not really in an economic position where they can just afford to throw everything at him. But World Edit will find the wall bang. I believe that was through the connector. And so it is 7-5. Winstrike leading by 2.
Somehow, Mertz managed to tag World Edit from 4 health down to 2 health at the end there. I don't know how that happened. Maybe a bit unfortunate. Maybe it was a wall bang. I don't know. But World Edit manages to take the kill at the end. And it is Winstrike who are in a decent position now with a 2-round lead and with Heroic's money being a bit questionable. And I think the problem for Heroic in that round was that they kind of allowed Winstrike that mid controller a little too easily. And so Winstrike started to move up in towards short. They started to get that B split going. And with Freiburg being the only player defending the actual B bomb site, that's just too many angles and too many players for him to deal with. And he eventually got the rotate in from Esatag, but they couldn't really work together on the hold. It was Esatag reacting to the players that were already on the site. He was reacting to the info that Freiburg had kind of given over after he had died. So they couldn't really hold together, which was a bit of a problem for Heroic. And unfortunately, that leaves them with a half buy into round 13.
Winstrike sending 1 player towards underpass, 1 towards top middle, but Stavin is reacted to that, and he's got the first kill on the Boomich. Freiburg extends, but 2 quick trades come through from Bondik and Kvik. And there's a kill from BlameF, dropping Kvik. It's on World Edit and Bondik. I'm going to win a 2v3. World Edit will take BlameF away with a Glock. Oh, back into the 2 versus 2. Freiburg is going to take damage on board, but Stavin finds the kill on Bondik. That means World Edit is in the world on his own. He has to 1v2 this. Freiburg up towards the apartments, running back, the bomb on the floor. And they can just watch that. But I don't think they know that they have the bomb just yet. Freiburg will very shortly. They find the kill. Oh, the bomb is there. Watching it, but already crossed through and below. It's World Edit. That's perfect. The scope actually works against Freiburg.
I feel like Stavin must have spotted the bomb as he ran through mid earlier, but he pushed all the way into T spawn, maybe trying to get flank going, and it could still go his way. Stavin up close wins the fight. World Edit was trying to bide his time, was trying to bait his opponent into his crosshair. However, it was Stavin who held his nerve in the clutch. And so Heroic, against all odds, win that round with that weaker buy. They will be delighted with picking up that round win, because now this is going to be anyone's game into the last few rounds of this first half. You can see the money on both sides is not exactly great. The only player with any significant cash is Stavin, the sole survivor of the last round. So whoever loses this one is probably going to be on a weaker buy for that last round of the half, which could be important. And also, something that could be important in this round is Heroic's early aggression into Palace. That's a good area of the map to take early.
Oh, Mertz and Kvik. There's the duel that needed to happen. Mertz will come out on top, but elsewhere off camera, Norbert actually connected a kill onto Freiburg. So we're still 4v4. Boomich in from behind inside of the jungle. Somehow has got up there and got 2 kills. No answer yet from Heroic, so Boomich has kept the advantage for Winstrike, and he's definitely been the thorn in the side of Heroic. He's been in positions you just don't expect it to be, and he's found multi-kills in those positions, and now looking for a little bit more. He's delaying so much. Both of the players here just trying to eliminate Boomich. And so, with that time, he's allowed his teammates to get good post plans and still gets a kill with the Glock burst. What the hell was that? Confusion inside the middle, and at this point, BlameF, you've just got to save. There's no way you can do this. He's just already inside the middle. They know where he was. I think he knows the impossibilities of clutching this one, so he'll just sit there, wait for a kill to come his way. Luckily for Winstrike, no one is up towards window.
Quite an unlikely position for BlameF to be saving from. I don't think Bondic will expect this. Indeed, Bondic takes some damage. BlameF gets the kill he was looking for. So the AWP save is denied. That could be relevant because Winstrike can't really buy that AWP again unless Boomich wants to go for it glass cannon. So slight kill at the end makes a bit of a difference into round 15. And again, this has been a very close game, but it's Heroic who are a little bit worse for wear on the buys. At least they get an AWP into the hands of Stavn, and once again, the AWP doesn't go into the hands of Mertz. Stavn takes it, but Mertz manages to get the opening with the dig. What a shot in towards mid. Stavn finds one over towards B as well, and Winstrike upping the pace, but Stavn just keeps on going. 3 kills with the AWP, and it's all up to Kvik to try and win the impossible, and Stavn just gets them all on the B hold. What a round from him with the AWP.
Stavn has definitely stepped into this role with a lot of tenacity, you know, finding a lot of these big kills. On the last map, he was the top fragger. He's come into this matchup, was a little bit quiet out of the gate, but that's a great way to end the half. That's going to give him confidence moving forward into the second. Heroic now on the T side. They are behind by 1, but for the pistol pickup, they could find themselves very easily taking that lead. Winstrike will look to try and extend upon their lead though. They've got the double flash and world edit. The kit is there as well, along with Kevlar and 4 other players.
Surprising to see Heroic go in towards mid with no nades. That is a little bit of a risk up against the USPs, but they don't get punished for it. And the Glocks closing the distance, getting all the kills they need. Norbert, the only man to chime in, but World Edit will get one of his own and keep it somewhat close. Unfortunately, though, it is all on Norbert coming in from Connector. It looks like Heroic have done enough. That was a really quick pistol round. Heroic just rushed down mid, try and get in towards that A site, and they managed to do so successfully.
Continuing the success from the last round of the half into this one, it's Heroic. Even in the scoreline, they will pick up the Mac 10s on 3 players. Mertz, BlameF and Freiburg picking them up. Essetag and Stavn carrying the AK-47s. Winstrike. Bit of a mix and match buy, really, Alex. They've got everything, essentially. Deagle, CZ, everything and nothing at the same time, though. It's not really too much to talk about. I think that's the best way of putting this by. Although Stavn has found the head of Norbert, and that gives the advantage over to Heroic.
It's on the B site as well. Stavn's just continued the push. There is a player close by in towards kitchen, but Mertz will line up a smoke that lands at that kitchen window so that World Edit Scout has an even lesser chance, I should say, of doing too much on the hold. And I think that should pretty much put this round to bed. The B site is lost. Boomich gets 1 kill in towards Connector, so I guess that's something to work with, but even then, you only get a Mac 10 recovered out of it. It's not exactly great. And saving these guns will be okay for Winstrike. They'll try and take them into the next round, but the Mac 10s of Heroic are hungry for blood.
Molotov towards Underwood. That's going to force Bondic into the open. He will still take a kill, though, before falling. And Boomich comes in from behind. He's got an AK-47. He'll get himself another kill, and it's on Essetag. Again, there's no time, but on Essetag to try and drop Boomich is just probably not going to happen. He's too far away. So Boomich is going to carry the AK over into the next, and that's excellent from Boomich. You know, they had really no right in doing anything into that round after they all dropped. But Boomich just walks away, 3 kills and an AK to his name. So that's there's some potential here again from Winstrike to do some more damage if Boomich can put this in a good position.
And Heroic really need a clean round win here. They had to reinvest heavily into this one. They've all bought AKs, so just 1 kill will do quite a lot of economic damage over from the Winstrike side. About $4,000 of equipment value on each of these players, but the AK is lost. Boomich tried to make the play in towards mid, but the flashbang's not quite good enough. He didn't expect so many players to be coming his way, and unfortunately for Winstrike, I don't think there's any way they can get that AK back. It's just so far away at mid.
Well, Winstrike have just pushed all the way through ramp. There's a lot of information picked up. World Edit can't really get anything done towards window. Can't blame him, he's only got the USP. Bondic is going to start pushing towards Freiburg. Freiburg spots the push inside of T-spawn. Flashbang assist from Mertz over the top, but doesn't really do too much. Mertz can get that headshot onto Norbert. Last man alive is Bondic. Do they know that he's here? I think they have an inkling. There we go. Estai finds him. It will be 10-8. Heroic hit double figures, but finally we'll get that buy into the second half from Winstrike, and immediately World Edit pulling out the AWP. This is where things are going to get interesting, because Heroic don't have an AWP to challenge that. They're just going to run the 5 rifle setup. It'll be interesting to see what they can do here. I think Heroic probably will just run into an A set piece here. They are shaping up to go that way.
Second AWP goes into the hands of Boomich. Winstrike investing heavily into the snipers. And as you suggested, Heroic will go to the old faithful strategy of those A smokes. These are pretty common on this map. Everyone knows these 3 smokes that go over the top. The question is, can Winstrike find a way to counter it? I think most teams are happy to play for retake once they see these nades come in. They'll maybe try and get 1 or 2 kills on the site hold, but normally you kind of have to play for the retake at this point. The problem for Winstrike is that without the defuse kit, this retake will not be as easy.
Oh, Boomich, that's perfect. Just peeks out as soon as the smoke fades, finds Mertz. And that gives Winstrike the advantage moving into the retake. Bondic could get another one here as well. He will find Esatag. Stavin picking up one on the Bondic, and the rest of the cavalry is arriving for Winstrike back into the site. Norbert picking up a kill on Freiburg. Stavin does work from jungle, but he might be dropping here to World Edit if he overextends and pushes back into jungle, but Stavin drops Norbert. It's World Edit to finally drop him, but it's into a 1v1. World Edit, no kit, no time. BMF does enough by running away. I really think they've got to thank Stavin there. The only player doing anything.
Yeah, not only did he get those kills, but he also stayed alive for quite a long time in towards jungle, just kind of drawing the presence of World Edit away. World Edit was just holding jungle from behind. He couldn't really push forwards with the AWP because he didn't want to give away his position and to give his opponent an easy kill. And considering there was no defuse kit on the CT side, buying time was probably the most important thing you can do at that point. It basically wins you the round. And now Heroic are looking in good shape, especially with that opening. The one AWP that was saved by World Edit is dropped instantly. Thankfully, Kvik can recover it, so the AWP can still have impact in the round, but World Edit certainly won't be having any impact in the round, as he's the first to fall.
Well, Mertz and BMF inside the middle already. Winstrike not really in a position where they can challenge those long-range angles, so perhaps have to just wait and hold the choke points. At that point, they lose another player. It's Norbert falling, and IB is under pressure. It's Kvik, the only player finding a kill here for the CT side. Boomich dropped as well in reply from Mertz. So it's Kvik and Bondic into a 2v4. Over towards B, but the bomb is heading towards A, so it should be 12 here for Heroic. Bondic. Oh, he's got an AK. Definitely a save time for Winstrike here. They haven't got much money left in the bank, so saving an AK and an AWP, that's the best case scenario here.
Good mid-round call from Heroic in this round as well. This is the kind of round where some inexperienced in-game leaders could probably get flustered. That's why I'm impressed that BlameF made that call. I mean, it could have been someone else making that call. That's the one thing you also have to mention. Those mid-round calls can sometimes be made by anyone on the team. It's not like it's only the in-game leader making those decisions. And as soon as they spot that up towards B, they realize there's no need to take the risk of pushing the B site. Even though their strategy at the start of the round was going to be to move in towards B, as soon as they realize there's the AWP there to meet them, they realize there's no need to take that risk. They can just run back towards A and have a much safer approach. And so Heroic will get another round win on the board. But as you pointed out, Winstrike will save those 2 guns, which is quite nice for them. It means that this is going to be about as full of a buy as they can get into this round. So there are no more excuses for Winstrike. They are going to have everything they could want into this 21st round. And this is their best chance to get their first round win on the board on this CT side.
Well, problems have started to arise here for Winstrike. Tactical pause coming in to see if they can find a solution, because the problems are starting to get beyond their control at this point. Heroic end up winning a couple more here would have been very, very bad. So Winstrike, they need to find a way to sort of find a way back into this half, because double up setup might be the answer. They don't want Heroic to extend their lead any further. Fast play in towards middle. They've been very successful in doing this. Charging straight up, it's Blame F towards top of short. Tiger already inside of the connector. Mertz is here with the op, and he looks towards the connector. He can't quite get it. It's World Edit and Kvik starting things off well for the CT side. Staven looks to try and be the playmaker in towards B, but it's Freiburg and Mertz who actually find the trades. It's a 3v3. Molotov goes towards the window, and World Edit can't peek beyond it. Norbert instead will have to step up, and he does so. Staven finished off. He had committed into B, and because of that, he couldn't really fall away. Again, Heroic face 2 versus 2.
Mert seems to have made up for that initial missed shot in this one, though. He's managed to get 2 kills back, and it's into this 2v2, as you pointed out. 3 AWPs in play. Winstrike will just be holding with their snipers. Norbert has pushed all the way through B apartments, and so World Edit will play a little bit safer on the A site, just sitting in CT spawn, seeing if he can find the right angle to stop Heroic. And one problem for Heroic is that they don't have a smoke. So World Edit's angle in CT is quite a powerful one, but at the same time, Freiburg will start to flank into CT spawn. The timing is everything here. If World Edit isn't aware of this, this could be the difference.
Well, World Edit does get the kill. Freiburg will trade back, but the bomb is too far gone. And will be the win here for Winstrike. Norbert just chilling on B. And that will be victory here for Winstrike in the round that they really needed to win. After the tactical pause, it does come through. But again, Alex, you've got to really talk about it. It wasn't that convincing. Only winning by time. And that means there are a couple of money problems that could start to come through. They will get a buy here. Boomich hasn't bought Kevlar. There we go. He does eventually pick it up. So the buy is still good on the CT side. It's only... Well, this is probably one of the swing rounds we talk about, is when one of the teams, or both of them in fact at this point, are 1 round away from having to go to an eco.
Heroic not fighting for mid this time around. In the previous one, they were committing heavily towards mid early into the round, and it got them into an okay position. But they did lose the opening 2 fights and had to claw it back from that 3v5. So Heroic decide to take a safer, more passive approach at the start of this round, maybe showing more confidence in their executes later on into the round. And we're really not seeing any aggression taken by Heroic here, not even the AWP of Mertz. Finally, they will start to look in towards mid. However, they've got to be careful because World Edit is holding on the other side with the AWP.
Big run boost coming in here. World Edit going to be up towards the jungle. He's looking towards Palace this time. Smoke obviously preventing him from having to look towards middle. And Mertz has just walked his way up. At this point, Winstrike is giving the mid. But as soon as that smoke fades, usually we'll see the peak on the AWP. The player wants to go for that. Although at this point, it doesn't seem they want to do that. Just holding on the bomb site. It's very passive setup indeed here from the CTs. Allowing Heroic just to get into position and get ready for their approach. They have 1 player off towards ramp, the rest coming up through the connector, with 1 player being the linchpin towards short, and that is Mertz with the ult. But the rotation's having to come in here from Winstrike back over towards A. It's going to be that 5v5 retake we've already seen play out. But Mertz, oh, how's he missed that? That's a sitter. He will pick it up in the second attempt. Kvik finds 1 for the CT side, but Staven will get the advantage back for Heroic.
Bomb is planted for Connector, and Stavern keeps on going, gets his second of the round, and Winstrike are done for. I don't think they're going to go for this one. Bondik will stick around in towards CT, but with the bomb being planted on the other side of the site, there's no way he can get this defuse. Heroic have got too many angles to watch the bomb, and so it will be Heroic to get the round win. And as I was saying earlier in the round, the slow play at the start of this one suggested that Heroic were going to be relying on their executes to get them the round win. That's kind of what we saw. They went for the A execute. It worked out for them. They got that bomb down without too many kills coming through either way, and then they just ran down the clock in that post plant.
I feel like with a new in-game leader, if the way Winstrike are playing their CT side right now is really going to help BlameF, because he's allowed to play his game. You know, he's allowed to put his plan into play. He's not getting pressured. No one's pushing or getting aggressive. It's Winstrike just letting Heroic set up perfectly, and so everything is going the way BlameF wants it. The real test comes when there's a spanner thrown in the works. With Winstrike get aggressive and find a player, can he adapt to sort of that error, you know, losing the player? Does he know how to adapt after that? Hasn't really been tested, so Heroic are going to be very happy with Winstrike just letting him play, get the players into position, and then that's where Heroic are going to be as strong and as potent as possible. But that's the early kill from Boomich. Stavin has dropped, flashbang assist from Freiburg, does allow Essetide to trade back, and they can push on in towards the site. Bondik taking damage. At this point, Winstrike yet again have to play for the retake.
Taking time to get this bomb down, though. Those smokes will start to fade. Well, then it will go down. It's all about the kills from Freiburg. They don't care that the smokes are faded because they've killed all the threats on the Winstrike side. And once again, a 2-on-4 retake is not doable, especially Vic having a shotgun. He will go down. Freiburg making all the difference in this one. And Bondik will be running for the hills. Heroic finding success in towards A. But like you were saying, Winstrike not really posing too many problems for Heroic. Heroic allowed to set up this execute. It works for them once again, and maybe it is time that Winstrike takes some aggression, because sitting back and playing for the retake has not been working.
It really hasn't, and you have some really good individuals on this team, you know. The success we've seen from the CT side was Boomich getting in behind players, always being in a position you don't expect him to be there, and I feel like they're like a caged animal at this point. Winstrike can't go for those pushes. They're not feeling confident to play for them. We need to see World Edit trying to challenge early to get the advantage for Winstrike. And I would say even more so now that they have less money. You know, they have weaknesses in terms of utility and weapons, and the momentum isn't with them. So they really just have to throw everything at Heroic, try and disrupt their playstyle, and just try and force them to make a few mistakes. And hopefully Winstrike will find a way back into this.
Heroic not looking for the mid control in this one. They haven't really gone for the early mid control too often on the Heroic side. They've been happy with either going for straight up executions towards bomb sites, or they take mid control later in the round. Maybe with about a minute left on the clock is when they start to look for that mid presence. Winstrike, on the other hand, not taking too much aggression in this one, but they are holding on to mid, so that limits Heroic's options. But once again, it's another set play into the B site this time, and Winstrike haven't shown the ability to stop these from happening. They're not going aggressive. If they're not careful, Heroic could be able to take this B site. We'll wait and see, because the execute will come through shortly.
Well, it's on World Edit to hold. He will not be able to get even a single kill as Stavin opens the door. They charge on in, but it's Norbert in behind the smokes underneath the window, doing damage, gets one kill, but that's all he'll find as BlameF drops him back. It is the 3v3. Bondik does his best, but it's not really enough here in this scenario. Although, he might just get a little bit more. Mertz drops him. It's all on Boomich. MP9 versus 3. It's map point here for Heroic. They are looking in control.
Winstrike tried to play that one a little differently. They didn't sit behind the smokes playing for the retake. They tried to push forwards, but they weren't really in the best positions to do so. They only had the one player properly committed to the B site because they were so focused on holding on towards mid at the early portion of the round. And Heroic were just, again, allowed to set up their execute. They managed to go for the explosive push towards the site. This time, Winstrike finally going for some aggression in towards mid. We will see some fights early. S-Attack gets the opening and the follow-up. That could be game, set, and match right there and then, because Heroic are in prime position to take this map.
Well, Boomich wants to say something about that. Gets himself a kill with the MP9 S-Attack. Not allowed to get much more than those 2 kills. World Edit in a bit of an offline goal. Oh, he turns at the wrong time. Still nearly gets the kill on the Mertz, but the sniper is too quick and is too ready for that kill on World Edit. Norbert and Boomich, they're into the 2v4 retake attempt yet again. It's Boomich on the kill, but probably not much more than that kill. They have got an AK. So perhaps there is a hope. A bit of a lifeline, but Mertz goes for the aggressive kill, jumps up on top of the default box, finds Norbert. I know it's all on Boomich coming back into the site, and Mertz wants that as well. It's a triple to end the map. It's 16-9, and the Heroic are the victors of this winners matchup of Group B. A very solid performance from this new team. I mean, Stavin has looked very well. He looks to have settled into the team straight away, and Mertz is fragging as well. So you've really got your players all at the top of the scoreboard that you expect.
Yeah, we saw Mertz miss some shots, but clearly he was getting the kills often enough. 28 for 15, very good level of fragging from him, and overall a good showing from Heroic. I was happy with what I saw here. Winstrike just needed a little more adaptation on that CT side, but I would say promising signs from both teams, considering they kind of have fresh lineup.
Yeah, definitely promising signs from both teams. We've seen Winstrike win the game convincing earlier. And Heroic as well. And when his matchup delivered, it was an entertaining match. But that's it for today. There's no more matches at the GG.BET Invitational. Although tomorrow, we've got plenty more Counter-Strike action coming at your faces. So make sure you come in tomorrow, have a look at some of those games, and I'll see you guys then.
CSBet.GG guarantees to show the actual drop rate with precision to the hundredths. Find the best skins only in cases at CSBet.GG.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.Money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.